What's up, friends? My name's Aaron Ciotti. Everybody calls me Ciotti. You can call me what you want. Just don't, I don't know, do whatever you want. Welcome to Toothpick Tuesday. We are gonna put some more time into this TP3 toothpick build. I moved the light in this room, and now, hold on, let's see. Will that fill it in enough? Hey, I had a feeling it might. Cool. I'm down with that. Why is there a blade? Why is there a blade on the fan sticking out? What's happening? That's gonna, I mean, I'm not insane or anything, but you know, that's gonna drive me crazy. All better. Imp FPV, Austin Jennings, Kenny Kobe, TJ Giggles and Jones, Chris FPV, Dan 636, Northern Tier CH3, Dan 636, T-Bird's in the house. What's up, Tyler? Finn FPV is here as well. Abraham, Severin Hagerty, and Luis. I'm not gonna ruin your last name. Finn is now wet. T-Bird says, what's up? Grizz FPV says, glad to see you back, bro. Glad to be back. Yeah, it's, today's a good day. Every day's a good day. Here on planet Earth. Christmas lights have been taken down. I spent a whole bunch of time today, just kind of organizing this place. I didn't have quite enough time to take the tree down, but I will be doing that probably tomorrow, I guess, maybe tonight. I also spent a bunch of time getting the new computer hooked up. It's sitting right over there. I can see it. But I didn't have enough time to get a monitor hooked up to it. Yeah. I think what I'm going to do is, like, I'll unplug probably this monitor here, and then I'll hook that up over there, and then when I live stream from here, I think I'll just plug this monitor back in, because I don't necessarily want to live stream with just a single monitor. I could probably do it, though. That'd be a pain in the ass. Basically, to get the new computer all going and whatnot, I know it's going to take some time to get everything moved over. The last couple times I've moved from one computer to the next, I've lost like programs and logins and stuff like that. So I want both of these computers to be up for like a week, for example. And I'll use the new one as much as possible, and then I'll find all the little pain in the ass things that are on the old computer or logins that I don't have and stuff like that. So yeah. Got that going. What else? What else is happening? I flew 2 of the ripsqueaks today, and I'm finally starting to notice some differences. I put 2 batteries into the 1306 rig with the RCX 1306s, 4000 kV on 4S with a 4S 850. All up weight is right at 250, maybe like 240 or so, somewhere in between. And I think this rig these 2 motors have pretty much the same stator volume. Might be exactly the same stator volume. 1306, and then this is 1504. They're the same kV as well, right? This one's 4000, this one's 3900. The big difference between these 2, though, is the propellers right now. These are the 3-inch Emax AVAN propellers, which are roughly, I want to say, like a 23 pitch. And then these are the brand new Gemfan 3020 20 pitch propellers. And the biggest difference that I noticed, which is, it could be totally down to the propeller. This might not have anything to do with the motors, but the biggest difference that I noticed is the hover point was much lower on this, probably like 20%, whereas the hover point on this was 30%. So that could absolutely be prop related, and my guess is that it is. But here's what's interesting, right? So, you know, that makes me want to put this rig onto the Gemfan props, which I have done, and it was really hard to feel a difference between the 2 of them when they were both on the same props. Here's the deal, though, right? This is the only of these ripsqueaks that I've got that can run these Emax AVAN props, because of the way that the blade of the propeller drops down below the mounting base. So I'm going to leave this rig on these propellers because if I decide that these propellers are better than all of the other rigs with all of the other propeller options, then that makes the motor decision easy. So yeah, I'm trying to figure out what motors to go with on all these ripsqueaks. They're all on different motors right now. So yeah, it's a little bit of a weird situation with this rig, with these motors, with these 1306 motors, in that you can use these propellers. In the past, these propellers have been too fragile. but my God, do they perform well. This rig, these two rigs have basically the same tune. I actually made this tune a little bit more aggressive, and this will not prop wash ever, 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 ever. And it doesn't even have the little judder when you throw it into its own wash and really quickly stab the throttle. And that's really impressive. So yeah, we'll see. I don't know. I have a lot of these. I have a ton of these propellers too, but I think they're just going to be too fragile. I think, I mean, like, look at it. I mean, it's just like, hold on, I'll show you with one of the ones in the rear. Like, it's just, this is why this propeller performs so well, because it's so fragile and because it's so lightweight. These GemFan 3020s are not a durable prop either, but they're definitely more durable than these Max Avans. So that, it's a shame. It's really a shame that these props aren't more durable, because they're, man, are they good. This thing was really boogieing. What I could definitely tell, these props were definitely more, they are definitely quite a bit more pitchy than these GemFan 3020s. You could audibly hear that these motors would wind up to a lot higher of an RPM than these. Which is also kind of interesting, because that means that 4,000 kV is all that we need. So yeah, I dig that. What that could also mean is that these iFlight 1504s make more power than these 1306s. Even though the stator volume is the same, there are a lot of other things about a motor that can cause it to make more or less power. Strength of the magnets, the air gap, the thickness of the stator layers. So yeah, interesting couple of batteries that I flew today. I didn't expect to feel such a difference, but yeah, it was definitely there. Once I was into the throttle though, so I flew 2 batteries on this with the 1306s, and then I flew 2 batteries on this with the 1504s, and after, I don't know, 30 seconds, 60 seconds, with this rig, I just kind of got used to it. Like, I definitely noticed the difference in hover point, but I didn't have like a, oh, I like this one better moment. So I'm just gonna keep putting batteries in, you know, as we've been talking about. I just need to spend more time with these. And what I also might do is load them down a little bit. That might show some of the differences in the that will definitely show some differences in the motors, namely the total amount of horsepower. And the way that I'm going to load it down is through the little rear mount by hanging the Insta360 Go 2 off the bottom of this thing to get some really cool little 3PV footage with them. So hopefully that will tell me a little bit more about, yeah, just differences between these two. And then I have the one that's on the 1804s, which is kind of like, you know, nuts. That's a wacky build. But I think I'm going to focus on these two for a little bit here and keep comparing these 1306s to these 1504s. Or actually maybe not, because what I noticed today is this one is having a crisis. This one on the 1306s has an electrical noise issue, or the gyro is failing. It's hard to tell which it is, but one of those two things is happening. It's not bad, and it's so cold out that the motors aren't heating up, which is nice. But I don't want to leave it like that. I mean, I don't have these things dialed in enough that I'm gonna get footage to do an edit with them quite yet. But you know, it is kind of annoying. But once it's boogieing around, it's not all that bad. You can kind of hear it every so often, but yeah, I'm still kind of in this testing phase with them, mainly because it's really ugly out because it's so cold right now. So yeah, it's a good time to just kind of ignore that. Kind of annoyed that I'm definitely annoyed that I keep having these issues with these things. I was just having that issue with the one on the 1804s, and now it's the problem has managed to migrate over to this one. But hey, that's micro life, unfortunately. So there's that. Let me get caught up on the chat a little bit here. Austin Jennings says, putting together Beast F7 55 amp AO came with two capacitors. Both are 470 35 volt wiring diagram says at least a 16 volt for 4S. Well, the 35 volt cause problems. Absolutely not, Austin. If the capacitor is too high, that's absolutely always fine. T-Bird says, what computer did you end up with? What hub station are you using? My dad actually surprised. So I had to buy it like right then and there, and I didn't have enough money in my bank account to do it. So my dad threw it on his credit card real quick, and I PayPal'd him. I had the money in PayPal, but I didn't have the money, elsewhere. And Adorama, who was doing the discount, $150 discount, they didn't have PayPal as a payment option. So I sent my dad the amount of money for the middle one with 160 gig built-in storage, maybe. I don't know, whatever the middle is. And he actually surprised me, and when he ordered it, he got the one with the most storage. So that was super cool. I didn't even know it because they don't write anything on the boxes anymore. And so the only way I would have known that is if I'd plugged it in, hooked it up to a monitor, and went into About My Mac, which I still haven't done. I'll be doing that tomorrow. Or tonight, maybe. But yeah, that was super cool. My mom actually told me. She's like, oh, he surprised you? And I'm like, wait, what do you mean? She was like, oh, it was supposed to be a surprise. I'm like, oh, well, you got to tell me now. And she told me. I was like, oh, cool. So Orga A says, what is the pitch difference between the props? I believe the Emax A-Van is roughly like a 23 or a 24 pitch, and then the Gem fans are 30-20, 20 pitch. Todd Beal says, my A-Vans do not flex like that. I have the same ones. That's weird. I guess maybe Emax changed their 3-inch prop. Let's go to their website and take a look. Oh, come on. Oh, come on. Let's accessories. Here we go. Oh wait, no, DIY? Is that what? Yeah, here we go. So let's take a look. I've been buying these 3-inch A-Vans for probably about 4 years now, and they've always been like this. They've always been very, very thin, which again is why they perform so well. But unfortunately, it makes them a little bit too fragile. So yeah, it is a 24 pitch. There's 2.4. It doesn't look like they've changed anything. I guess maybe they just haven't updated the pictures on their website. So I will be ordering a bunch more because yeah, the only reason I don't like these is because they're too fragile. So thanks for letting me know, Todd. I'm gonna buy a whole bunch more of these. Demenis says, what gyros would people use when the MPU 6000s are gone, since the company that makes them has discontinued them? So the MPU 6000s were discontinued over a year ago. And a lot of these but you know, we don't get much. We're a drop in the bucket. You know, they probably made, I don't know, 1 million of the damn things. All of FPV probably sucked up 5,000. I don't know. So there are MPU 6000s still floating around, and there will be. It's looking like for a while longer. There is a 32K gyro that I don't know which. Well, I can look up which one. So if we just go to Talon F7, it's the one that's on the Talon F7 Fusion. Man, I cannot wait for that nonsense to not happen anymore. So it will be the ICM 20602. 20602. I don't know how best to say that. ICM 2602. That's it. No, because that's 2602. 20602, I guess. Yeah, that'll be the one that already has been. So companies like Newbie Drone don't have any MPU 6000s left. So they've switched over to, I believe, that same gyro. Don't quote me on that because they don't put it on their website, but I have a feeling that that's the gyro that they're using. Apache says, good morning, what's up? Grizz FPV says, how does the Toka 1505 compare to the 1504? More power. I think a little bit too much power, if I'm totally honest. The 1505 rig rails. The problem with the 1505 rig is it's set up as an Insta360 Go carrier, Go 2 carrier. So yeah, it's not the same all up weight, but I know that the 1505s rail from Patrick's two Ripsqueaks that he built on them, and it just makes sense. It's quite a bit bigger of a motor, going from 4 millimeters tall to 5 millimeters tall. That's a 25% increase, right? So that's a big chunk of power. Yeah, I'm beginning to feel like the iFlight 1504s might be the motor to have on these Ripsqueaks for me, with the RunCam hybrid build. The Insta360 Go 2 build is definitely heavier. Let me take a quick look. Come on. There it goes. So, without the Insta360 Go on it, it is 145. So then you're going to add another 26, right? 26? Is that what it is? I think so. So that puts this to 165, 170, 171. 171. And then, what do these batteries weigh? I don't know why I just did that math without the battery. Oh, nice, awesome. So 248.3 without the for the Insta360 Go rig on the Toka 1505s. So then 276. Yeah, 276 all up for the rig that's on the 1505s. Thus it being on 1505s. Versus this hybrid rig on the 1504s is 244. Like, done. So, if you're going to build one of these Ripsqueaks sub 250, I'm starting to feel like you don't really need the Tokas. I feel like they might be... Unless you want more power. If you want more power, great. But for me, I like less power in a lot of situations. to a point. There is a point where it's not enough, but in this case, yeah, I think these iFlight 1504s might be the right mix of enough power, as light as possible, and the lighter you build it, the more durable it's going to be. Is the main concern. I actually kind of like the way that these guys fly when they're above 250 grams, but it makes a lot of sense for me to get these things below 250. I don't know if I'm the whole. I don't think it makes much sense to try to get the Insta360 Go 2 rig below 250, because like it is below 250 without the camera in it, and like I don't know. It would probably be underpowered too, if I got the weight all the way down that low. So yeah, I don't know. I feel like sub 250, like, you know, if you get in troubles, you can be like, well, it's sub 250 without the camera. You know, I don't always fly with the camera. You know what I mean? Because we just don't hear about like the FAA. I don't know what it's like in other countries though, but I've never heard of like somebody showing up with a scale and being like, I need you to weigh I need you to land, and I need to put it directly on the scale. You know what I mean? But what do I know? I just work here. Brandon's Baked Bean says, Vista and Nebula Pro Fund, do you have DJI goggles now? FPV Exchange is actually sending me a set of V1 DJI goggles that have a dead pixel towards the center that he didn't feel right selling because there's a dead pixel towards the center. So, yeah, what I'm thinking I'm going to do, I'm still, there's no chance for me switching over to DJI because it's over $1,000. But what I think I'm going to do is put it onto the test bed glide, which is somewhere around here, and beat it up a little bit and see what the latency is like, because I have a pretty much identical glide, the Basher glide with the red TPU. So yeah, I can back-to-back those and see how badly the latency really drives me, how bad the latency really is. Brandon's Big Bean says, don't discount HQ 60 frame per second mode for freestyle. I can have a lot of fun with the polar camera, but it's ideal for nighttime. That said, other Nebula Pro, I run 16:9 and 60 FPS all the time. Yeah, judging by Bardwell, I mean, I'm already really not looking forward to the increase in latency, so basically anything that I can possibly do to avoid a big chunk of extra latency, I'm going to do. Thus, the Nebula Pro. The Nebula Pro is going to be the least latent camera. And yeah, I'm not switching all the way over to DJI, so I want to give DJI the best possible shot, basically. So yeah, that's kind of the thought process there. If I do somehow end up switching over at some point, I will definitely be looking at the low light cameras, because the Foxeer toothless Starlight cameras that I have on all the glides now, and the Cinewhoops, oh man, I'm so spoiled by them. Being able to fly at night with those cameras is really, really fun. Really, really, really fun. So, yeah. We'll see. But realistically, it's not going to happen. I did the math the other day on the stream, and it's like $1,200 or almost $1,200 for me to switch over to DJI. So that's just not going to happen anytime soon. There's a lot more important things going on in my life right now that'll take that amount of money. But maybe like later this year. I don't know. We'll see how this summer goes. Dan636 says, the Mamba stack I won from the Christmas stream is here. What should I put it on? You should put it on Ripsqueak. Rip Squeak it all day. Veritas Weasel says, hi, bud. How do you find places you can fly without being chased by the police? And I rate Karens. I tried a AAA field, but they're so afraid of the FAA. They don't want drones flying. I just look for, like, business parks and, like, big parking lots and big empty fields, and just, as long as there's no people, it's, you know, it's kind of mine. And if somebody wants to talk shit, like, usually I'll just leave. If they're being completely unreasonable, I'll just be like, look, call the fucking FAA. I have absolutely, you know, I'm within my rights to take up the airspace. I promise I won't hit you in the face. Usually people are cool, though. Usually, you know, I don't know. It depends. If I'm in a... If somebody approaches me with any level of respect, I'll usually leave. But if they're being a total asshole, then, you know, I can be an asshole back. But that usually doesn't happen. Yeah, I mean, and I've never had a problem with the cops. So yeah, I don't know. I just finding spots takes a lot of time. That's something that people don't realize. Like, you know, yeah, there's a lot of spots here in Atlanta, but like we've had to look for them. Like, and we've spent, I mean, arguably more time looking. Oh God, I spit. Gross. Arguably, we've spent more time looking for spots than we've spent flying those spots. It's just kind of a part of the game. I used to, when I was in Charleston, I used to, like, every single lunch break for, like, an entire week when, like, I would crash all my shit and it would be all broken. And so instead of flying on my lunch breaks, I would just go out and drive around, just look for spots. So I would drive, like, I would pick, like, a direction or a road, and I would go for a half an hour, and then I would turn around and I'd come back for a half an hour, and that'd be my hour lunch break. And I would just do that every single day. So, yeah. It takes time. But you'll find some spots. You just put the time in. I don't have any secret methods. I prefer to do it in the car. But some people do sit there with Google Maps and just zoom in and move around with Google Maps. But I prefer to drive around and just look for spots like that. Brandon's Baked Beans. Oh wait, no. Athix says, look at general nonsense on Discord. Just staying warm. All right. Brandon's Baked Beans says, some people really want the fast frame rate and lower latency, but I found myself much more sensitive to the lower resolution that comes in low latency mode. You're going to switch over. Interesting. I'll be interested in which I go with. Yeah, I haven't. I've used DJI a bunch, but other people's setups, and I have no idea if they're using focus mode or I don't know. I don't even know the names of the modes. I need to learn all that stuff. So we'll see. Abraham says, welcome to the dark side. You're going to love HD. The latency was a big concern for me, but man, that image just make your transition gradual, and it's doable even on a budget. Yeah, I really can't do that, though, Abra. Like, I can't do it gradually and have, like, one more rig every time changing over. I have to do it all at once, so it'll take a while. But that's okay. Analog is great. There's a lot of benefits to analog. And until DJI has a realistic director's monitor setup that is wireless, I won't be switching over because of that very specific reason. So, and they might never do that. And if they never do that, I will probably never switch. I will probably go to, what's it called now? HD0? Fat Shark. Shark Bite. There it is. Jesus. So yeah, we'll see. Jackalope says, got my second glide frame in the mail. Very cool. Oh, speaking of. That is Mighty Car Mod's little interlude thing. Go subscribe to them. One of the best channels on all of YouTube. You're gonna love it if you have any interest in cars or just funny people on YouTube. Look at this. This is the CiottiFPV frame that Ryan Harrell had worked on a bunch last year, and then he got super busy, and yeah. So I don't really have. I'm really struggling on time right now, but I will find some time to get one of these put together and beat the living piss out of it. Bottom plate. This is potentially going to be the sandwich plate. I doubt it. I think there's a much better chance that this will be the sandwich plate. But Ryan seems to think that this little guy will be enough. Top plate. And then 3-hole arms, 4-hole arms. You'll have to wait for the actual build to really see it. Very, very cool of Ryan Harrell to send this to me, and the amount of work that he did on this is rad. So cool of him. Hopefully, I didn't realize after giving him all the measurements that I needed and clearances that I needed that hopefully nothing changed in the way that I build these things. It has been a while, and there is a chance. But I don't know, we'll see. We'll see. 12x12, 9x9 mounting. Should be cool. I don't know. I'm really happy with the rip squeak. So maybe I won't be able to tell a difference between this and that. But I don't know. We'll see. Ripsqueak has a lot of support at this point. So unless something about this really blows me away, maybe it'll handle vibes better. I don't know. I don't know. But yeah. Very cool that this finally came through. You guys will see more of this before you know it, because I have lots of extra flight controllers and ESCs, I've realized. So I'm just gonna throw, throw some stuff at that, just like a set of motors, and just start crashing it. I think I'm gonna throw a set of RCX 1304s on it because I have a ton of those, and just start beating the shit out of them. It won't fly great with those motors, but I need to start crashing it to see where it's gonna break, because it might have like a glaring weakness somewhere that you only find out when you start smashing it into stuff. I did a little TPS order when they had the Cinesplorer frame really cheap. And it finally showed up. They also had a bunch of these Gemfan Flash 5149s, which I really love. These are arguably my favorite high-pitch propeller. So I got a whole bunch of these for the giveaways, because I've already got a ton of these. So yeah, some high-pitch props coming if you want to do that, like long. I love those for just high-speed or long-range stuff. Like long range in terms of if I want to put the nose down and really cover ground, not long range in terms of like I want to be as efficient as possible. So yeah, I really dig those. So yeah, I got a couple of Cinesplorer frames here, and look at these wild things. These are the 63 millimeter 8 blade. Yeah, 63 millimeter 8 blade. What's that? 2.5 inch, right? Just got them for the meme. I picked up another Mamba F30 Mini ESC because I like the one that I already put in, and yeah, maybe this will be the ESC that I start recommending, because I currently don't really have one, and an extra set of Cinesplorer arms, because I realized that I don't have any extra Cinesplorer arms, so those are for me. But yeah, some stuff, some things have arrived. The Pyro drone order I placed on the 12th is still not here, though. I started a case with UPS USPS rather. I'm pretty sure it's gone, which really sucks because they're now out of stock on the 0803s. There were 2 of them in there that I really needed. That's why the 75 mil whoop has been down. But you know, Christmas. Well, that's cool. Oh, 5%. Yeah, whatever. These will end up in the... I still haven't shipped anything because it's just been chaos, but I'm going to be getting stuff shipped. Yes, Brandon, thanks for reminding me. God, I've forgotten every single live stream. Pyrodrone had a little, like, robbery in the middle of the night. I don't think anybody recognized the people, or I don't know how you would catch people because they just stole, like, binding flies, but it sucks. In case you didn't know, yeah. Some a box truck pulled up, masked people got out, took a bunch of shit, and drove away. Sucks, dude. That had nothing to do with my shipment. My shipment made it to Atlanta and then just vanished. So this is for me, and then these are for giveaways. All right, cool. Everything is in the right spots, and that is for somebody. All right, where are we at here in the chat? Where are we at? Where are we at? Brandon McBean says, did you ever move over to ELRS? Not yet. I do have Ghost. I'm going to run it as Ghost first, and then I'm going to move over to ELRS. The only reason that I'm going over to ELRS is because that's the direction that the tiny whoops are going to be going, but they haven't gone that direction yet. There's only like 3, I think, tiny whoop AIOs that are out that have ELRS built in, and I've got 4 of these newbie drone AIOs. So yeah, I'm not ready quite yet, but in due time, I will be moving the tiny whoops over to Express LRS, so long as a good tiny whoop AIO comes out. We'll see. Yeah, we'll see. License to Drive says, you know who to call if you want perfect fitting TPU arm guards for your frame. Which frame? Which frame are you thinking, License? Double A says, what's up? What's up, dude? T-Bird says, check Messenger. Well, hold on. Somebody said to check Discord first. Oh, look at that, Athex. Very cool. Jesus, look at that evil device. Come on, man. Really? This is why I don't usually do this on stream. Come on. There we go. God damn it. I'll look at this later. Nothing's working. Jackalope FPV with a $5 super chat. Thank you, brother. He says, if we all chip in $3.20 each, we can get our favorite dangly man, that Nebula Pro, tonight. Thank you, brother. Jackalope, always trying to get that train started. Much appreciated, my man. We're going to 5. Thank you, dude, for your generosity. Hey, Happy New Year. Have I not streamed since New Year? I don't think I have. Happy New Year, friends. 2022. We made it. Much... Unbelievably, we made it. Whack FPV says, those 5149s I love for freestyle since they seem very responsive for quick maneuvers. Look at that. Oh, it's working. Things work. Look at it. Northern Tier FPV, thank you, brother. DJI Experiment, Happy New Year. 5 becomes 10. And I probably need to take a space out. There we go. One of these days I'll go back onto whatever that website is that does the thing that we just saw, and there's things I can do. I'll be able to automate this, basically. Whack FPV, typically a high pitch, heavier propeller will be less responsive for quick maneuvers. What you might be feeling is that they just make more thrust. But typically, a lighter weight, lower pitch propeller will spin up quicker to give you like better response. But it depends. It's hard to feel that kind of stuff. Like, there's so much going on. There's so many different things going on that, you know, one propeller might feel like it does this or that or the other, and like if you look at the black box log, it doesn't. But there's a lot of placebo there. They're a great propeller. They're definitely heavier though, so they're going to be harder on the PID loop for sure. But if you pair them, maybe like if you pair them with a very heavy rig, that could happen. I don't know. Again, yeah. Feeling differences between these components that we put on our quads is a very inexact science, and there's a ton of placebo, and there's a ton of like donkeys. I don't know. Northern Tier, thanks again, brother. License to Drive says TPU guards for those bags of arms you just showed. Oh yeah, right. Nice. So one of the things that I actually did with the design of those arms is add extra carbon and extra big devil horn protectors so that we didn't have to run TPU on them, because TPU is heavier than carbon fiber. But if that frame ever like goes into, so for my testing, I'm going to run it bare carbon. Because I also want to see how that carbon holds up. Does it just do the little devil horns just break off, or do they wear slowly down? But if that frame ever makes it into production, yeah, you'll be the guy that I bugged the shit out of to design the TPU for sure. But for right now, I'm cool. Thank you very much for the offer. That's super cool. T-Bird says, I just put together a DJI care package. I've been cleaning the office today. Oh, no shit, T-Bird. Let me see if Facebook has decided to cooperate. It has. There it is. And 2 Vista, 1 Pro, 1 Nano V2 also have a DJI Air unit with OG camera, but need the Air unit back. I don't have a single frame that would hold the Air unit, so we're good. Figure it'll be a good test. Dude, rad. I actually have one of the DJI cameras. So yeah, if that's awesome, dude. Thank you. Jesus. Yeah, the 2 Vistas would be nuts, and then one of the, what's it called? Nebula Pro. I gotta learn the names of all the DJI stuff. That would be cool, because then I could also compare the two. But I wouldn't have anything to do with the second Vista, though, because I'm not going to put it into 2 rigs. But yeah, if you could part ways with a Vista and a Nebula Pro, I can test those 2 cameras. That would be fun to do. Awesome. Dude, thank you, Tyler. Very cool of you. Very, very cool of you, T-Bird. Cody SA says, are you still flying the Glide wanting to change my 5 inches to the Glide because I can't fit a Vista onto my old frame slots? Yeah, the Glide frame is still the best frame available in my opinion for a 5-inch rig. I don't know if anybody's gonna make a better frame than it. I mean, the Apex is a great frame, but it doesn't have as good motor protection, and the arms are a little too strong in my opinion. So yeah, it's just right. It's got the front spot for the 20x20 flight controller. It's got 20x20 in the rear for a Vista. It's got a plenty. If you don't run, it's just everything is packaged correctly. It's got the right amount of space in the right places. Although, we'll see with the Vista. I'm worried that I'm gonna have a hard time finding a spot for the capacitor once I put the Vista in the rear. So we'll see. I'm not totally sure. Brandon's White Bean says 505 sent via PayPal for DJI. Thank you very much, Brandon. Let's get it going here. 10 goes to 15. So I'm gonna. It sounds like I'm gonna change the name of this fund because T-Bird's got this stuff. Let's change this over to. What's coming up? The Cinesplorers are good. 1 watt. Oh God, what's it called? Oh God, HD0. Jesus. HD. Let's just change it to the HD0 1 watt fund. How about that? You guys probably want to see that more than DJI. HD0 1 watt fund. There we go. All right, let me make this a little bigger. And oh boy, it did not like that. Okay, there we go. All right, where we at? Thank you very much, Brandon. There it is. Thank you very much, Brandon. Quadzimoto with a $5 super chat. He says, DJI, let's go. Happy New Year. Quadzimoto, thank you, dude. 15 goes to 20. And Bob Noxious is in the house. Cody SA says, T-Bird, LOL, just watched the glide build with you and CiottiFPV from a year back. Ever get that tracer figured out? LOL. It's wild to watch the old live streams. I actually had an old live stream on earlier today from when I built. Because I realized I've built one of these TP3s before. But I had to look the live stream up to remind myself. It was during Quarren Stream. It was one of the Quarren streams that I built the original TP3, which ended up being a giveaway, I think, this year in April. Hey, by the way, guys, check your do me a favor and check your Patreon to make sure that if you want to still be active, you are still active. I didn't think that this many people joined in December for the full builds giveaways, but my God, my Patreon took a huge shit all of a sudden this month. It went down by like almost $400. So yeah, check it. Make sure that I don't know. Sometimes I've heard that sometimes Patreon will you'll be set up for recurring, but for some reason they'll maybe your card will expire or something. I guess I don't know. I've heard people complain that all of a sudden they're not active on Patreon anymore. So check it if you want to still be active to make sure that you're still active. Let's change this gear fund to digital VTX. Is that it? Digital VTX fund? Is that what we want? Because then it's then it can be all the things. You know what I'm saying? Let me fix the font. I changed the oh, for heaven's sakes. Hold on. What happened there? Did that fix it? I'm gonna do that because one way or the other, that's how much it's gonna cost for me to go to digital. Be that Sharkbite, HD0, or DJI. At the moment, it would have to be Sharkbite, but the 1 watt's not out yet. So yeah, I don't know. It's very confusing. It's all very confusing. Abraham with a $20 super chat. He says, "Come to the DJ dark side. Also, have you tried Quicksilver yet?" I haven't even heard of Quicksilver. What's that? I just flashed it. Hope I have it fly by the end of the stream. Word is it flies like silverware, but for brushless. Oh, okay. Happy Christmas and Merry New Year. Thank you very much, Abraham. Super generous, dude. We are gonna go 20 to 40. Look at that. Damn. So yeah, we'll just leave this as this because I'm gonna be buying digital VTXs this year for sure. Not just VTX though. Digital fund. No. DJI and HD. Zero digital fund. Is that it? Is that what we're doing? How's that look? Good? The least professional live streamer in the world. Brandon's Baked Bean says, LOL, gonna make more donations from DJI Fund. Kenny Kobe says the red VTX won't fit minis. Very true. Kenny's talking about the 1 watt. I'm really hoping that they come out with a 500 milliwatt. I've had great luck with 500 milliwatts on analog, and the range is pretty much the same between analog and digital. So the whole 1 watt HD0 thing, like, potentially I'll buy that to jump on the hype train. Maybe not though. I don't know. Probably. Because it would be nice to have a VTX that goes forever. But we'll see. Matthew Vega says, check PayPal for some DJI dollars. Let's see. Let's get this inbox going here. Oh man, this old computer, I'm gonna light it on fire. There's Brandon's Baked Beans and Matthew Vega with a $5 PayPal for digital fun. Thank you very much, my friend. 40 goes to 45. Look at you guys. Can't believe how driven you guys are to get me onto digital. It's wild. It's wild. Everybody, I mean, it makes sense, right? Like you want the person that you watch to fly what you fly. Why are there so many different colors of purple? Can I get this matched a little bit better here? Isn't there a little bit more of a blue? Why is everything making all the noises all at once? What's that? Is that pink? That's pink. That's pretty purple. What's this? That's flat out blue. Most purple I can make this is that. Alright. And then, so is it this one that's not blue enough? Yeah, it's certainly not helping. How am I just noticing that now? It's fine! I am gonna be, I do need to kind of donkey the lighting in here a little bit. Know what I mean? Donkey. Abraham says, I'm flying DJI but rooting for HD0, spend on whichever system you prefer. It's going to be both for sure. FinFPV says, capacitor is a bit tough to fit in the Glide with a Vista. I had to run 2 small ones zip tied to the standoffs on the side. Photo and Discord for inspiration. Interesting. I'll bet you with the Acon ESCs though, you can get away with like a single smaller, like 470 or 380 or something like that. Don't quote me on that though. There's Abraham setup. I'm sorry, Finn setup rather. Interesting. What a pain in the ass having to wire 2 up. But yeah, I mean that is a fine spot for him. I mean they'll live there forever. I'll start with one, and then we'll see what happens. Maybe I can finally kill an Acon ESC if I run it basically capacitorless. T-Bird says, change it to moving Ciotti to 2022. Athix says, I just want 500 or 600 milliwatt HD0 whoop board VTX for 5-inch. Yeah, I don't care what size they make that. Actually, I do. I do care. But they need to do... I really hope they do a 500. That'd be great. Brandon McBean says, that's right. You know, Orca is dropping an HD video product tomorrow? Jesus, I didn't realize it was tomorrow. I thought it was going to be like this summer. Wow. Just what we need. Another option. Alright. I don't know. Abraham says, Quicksilver is NFE's brushless brainchild due to silverware. Ah, gotcha. He took a little break and other devs worked on it, but they're back to, picking up steam again. I don't fly acro or angle ever. So I never tried silverware because of that, and I won't try Quicksilver because of that. I fly acro everything, including tiny whoops. But for those of you guys that are into tiny whoop racing, that sounds really good because apparently silverware was the jam for that. That's pretty cool. Focus FPV on yourself says, yo. All right, let's do some more toothpick work. Enough jibber jabbering. What did we talk about early on the stream? There was something we were talking about earlier on that was actually that I was ranting about. Oh. Yeah, I'm gonna add that to the it was the flight feedback. TP3 build continues. 1306 versus 1504. 1306 versus 1504. Wait, hold on. RCX 1306 versus Xing 1504. Cool. Just to beef up the stream stream title a little bit. So I have not gotten much done on this. I did figure out the screw length and a bunch of other things, though, so that's good. But then I changed my mind on which canopy I want to run. I'm actually going to run this canopy here with this a little bit better of a camera. This is a Runcam Nano 4. So I need to screw this canopy on and see if it's going to clear, but I can already see that it is. So I'm actually fine, but let's do it anyway. Let's do it anyway. Because I also want to make sure that this will thread on. Thread in. Thread on. Thread in and on. And let's see if there's any weirdness there. Well, it's already being weird. So I got that going for me. Come on, get in there. What is this canopy meant? Why are these screw holes in this canopy so small? What's happening? Is this real life? What would they have me be screwing into this? M1.3? What in what world is that a thing? I mean, I would really rather not bore these out because then they'll be like less threaded, basically. Let's just let's just kind of get them started, I think. Maybe that's what we need. Let's just mash a screw into this to get it going. And then that'll remove some of the material and leave a little dent. Oh, hey, I can move the chat over. Hey, there we go. Demenis says, what's your favorite 20x20 stack? How do you feel about the Mamba stacks? So I actually don't have one right now, Demenis. I had an ESC that I loved called the Speedix GS25, and they discontinued it about a year ago. And that ESC is so... And I bought a bunch of those ESCs when I kind of fell in love with it. And those ESCs don't die. Like, they're really durable. So I think I've only maybe killed one of them. But you can't buy the damn thing anymore. So I've been trying to take those out of rigs so that I can try some of the other ones. But I haven't put enough batteries through any of these other ESCs to really have a good feel for their reliability. In terms of flight controllers, it's kind of a similar situation in that I dig the Talon F7 MPU 6000, but that's becoming hard to find. So it seems like the Mamba stuff is fine, though. I've heard good things about the Mamba stuff. I've been flying the one ESC for a while. I've had a Mamba flight controller in the test bed rig for a long time, and it's been totally fine, and that's a 5-inch rig. So Mamba flight controller and ESC might be the ones. It's a little too early for me to, like, say yes for sure to that, because I really like to beat this stuff up before I recommend it to you guys, because I just absolutely hate buying electronics and having it blow up for no good reason. So yeah. That's the situation there. But you still can find the Talon F7 MPU 6000 in some spots. I don't know where at the moment. But you can find it with, if you head over to FPV Exchange, you can search it on there, and they'll show you all the different websites that sell it. It's one of my favorite things about FPV Exchange. Hey, this is my full-time job. If you would like to continue seeing 10-ish hours of these live streams a week, head on over to CiottiFPV.com. Joining my Patreon helps me out the most, and my Patreon took a huge hit at the end of December here. I guess a bunch of people jumped on just for the full build giveaways. Or maybe there are some billing problems or expiration dates on cards or something like that. So if you want to be on my Patreon and you think you're on my Patreon, do me a favor and go check, because you might not be. I've heard Patreon removing people at random is a thing. So go take a look if you have a second. And while you're at it, join somebody else's Patreon. There's a bunch of really good ones out there. Chris Rosser has one. Well, so Chris is not all that active on his. Off the top of my head, the really active ones, the FPV Cycles Discord is actually pretty active, and sometimes you can get a lot of times he'll post on there when he gets stock in first. Not by much. Usually it's only by like a couple hours before he puts it on the website. But who else is active on their Discords? I mean, even if they're not active, there's plenty of FPV people over there. Just search for FPV. And like, you might just find somebody that's not active, but you want to support them. You know, I mean, that, like, yeah. Chris Rosser is very active on YouTube, so joining his Patreon makes a lot of sense, because it incentivizes him to spend more time on FPV. That's really what you're doing, right? You're incentivizing someone to spend more of their life on FPV. So if you like what they're doing anywhere, then yeah, Patreon is one of the best ways to directly support them. They don't take much of a percentage, and it's just a good little website. Those us content creators are very lucky that that Patreon exists. All right, what is next? Let's get the receiver figured out here. I'm going to use an RXSR because I have them all over the place. I gotta be honest, I'm very tempted to put Ghost on this, and I don't know. But I have these RXSRs, and I can put the antennas out on the arms in a way that that I'm kind of used to. So versus if I do Ghost, I have to do an Immortal T, which is kind of annoying. I should put Ghost on this, shouldn't I? It's kind of insane not to. Oh, you know what the problem is right now, though? Where the hell do I put the receiver? So one of the reasons I wanted to run this is so that the rear end is free here, so that I can just sneak the RXSR right back in there and just VHB it. But this canopy takes up the rear mounting, which I don't hate because this kind of protects the DVR board, but I now no longer have a great spot for the RXSR. Unless I can sneak it up here, but I don't think so. I think, yeah, see, no, it's just a little bit too big. Where the hell did Toothpick people put their receivers? Oh, farts! I forgot about this. I mean, I could run this board forwards like that. That does not help at all. Unless I tuck it up inside of here, maybe? Can I, like... So if I did that, I could run that board forwards and use that little space. And I could, like, zip tie it back there. But that's kind of ugly. What's Ghost look like? Didn't I set aside a little ghost? Whatever, it's fine. There's another one here. Maybe the little Ghost receivers are smaller. Let's see. Ooh, they are. They for sure are. Well, I think we're going Ghost, friends. They're a little bit wider. It's definitely flatter. I think I'm going to see if I can sneak a little Atto up front there. Roboxison says, Toothpick people don't use a DVR. Well, that's good, because I'm not a Toothpick person. I'm absolutely not a Toothpick person. I'm only building this because I was flying the... what's up, June Loco? What's up, Roboxison? I was flying the little Nanohawk that Emax sent me in front of her house, and it was really cool that it was completely silent. But it didn't have nearly enough power. B-Man says the stream confused me. Maybe I think it was a different day. Glenn Burnett says I've had really good luck with Mamba stacks. Oh, you opened them up with your soldering iron, Glenn. That's interesting. Talking about the camera mount. Bob Noxious did not get kicked off of Patreon. Very cool. And Apache says, just checking, I'm still on Patreon. All right, so Patreon didn't kick everybody off. That's good. Grizz says, wherever you can put. Abraham says, usually find a tight spot and stick it in there. Burns McBean says ELRS with a little cube antenna would solve antenna issues. Yeah, these will go. This is probably another rig that'll end up going ELRS eventually. So if I do this on, so like Toothpick on Ghost. Yeah, I need to. I'm gonna put Ghost on it because I want to just run. I want to just kind of like get it over with and just run Ghost on something. Because I am gonna flash this Ghost transmitter to ELRS at some point. So yeah, let's do a Ghost Toothpick. Ghost did better than ELRS in Mark Spatz's recent testing, which I thought was kind of wild. Not by much, but a little bit. So that makes me feel good because, yeah, I'm going to be spending some time with it here. Hold on, I got to find that little... There it is. All right, so I already soldered up the leads to it, which will save me a little bit of time. Here it is. All right, cool. That, and there it is. All right, so let's see. I mean, it might not fit either. So if it doesn't fit, I'll just give up. Oh, you gonna focus? You're not gonna focus tonight? It's not time to focus. Just gonna do me like that, Logitech? No, there we go. Brandon McBean says Ghost makes a smaller than Ado's Zepto. Small as ELRS RX. Jesus. Smaller than this? That's wild. GrizzFPV says some of us do put DVR boards in toothpicks, or at least I do. Brabbox System says if you depin the RXSR, it's easier to locate a place for it. It is, but my god, depinning an RXSR is a pain in the ass. I hate depinning those things. I've done a bunch of them on stream, and it just sucks a bag of donkeys. So let's take a quick look at where I can slide this thing. I think I can kind of sneak it under here. I don't love this though, because then it's... I really want to try to VHB it to the DVR board because the DVR board doesn't have a gyro on it, right? So, hold on. What if it's like that? And then this could potentially like sort of protect it, right? You know what I mean? Let's see. Let me screw a couple of these in. And we'll take a look at how much of a gap we've got. I don't think I want to go any higher on these stack mount screws. I do want to keep this thing as low profile as possible for the durability. All right, so that's all the way in. Let me put one of these side ones all the way in, and then we'll have a much better idea of how much space I've got here to work with. Bottom plate in the AIO would mean that I would need to go taller on these spacers here, which I'm trying to avoid. That was my first thought though, because it's, you know, you got all this down here. But yeah, I would need to go to a 5mm spacer, which would suck. I think I'm good. It looks like I'm gonna have plenty of room to put it right up on top there, even with a little layer of VHB. And what's going to be cool is it's also looking like I can push down on it with the top plate and kind of hold it in. So I'll just put it on a piece of VHB, and then I'll be able to push down on it, and that'll kind of hold it solid. All right, good. So that is fantastic. All right. All right. The next question is, do I want to keep these grommets in here? With these grommets in here, this DVR board can kind of move around a little bit, which I don't love. Like, it's just kind of hanging out. And it's like, it's already kind of doing this thing where it's compressing the rubber grommets too much. Yeah, so like there it's good to go. Like, that's where I want it. But on like a hard hit, it could move around. It's because it's sitting up on these big, tall rubbers. Man, I'm not in the mood to build right now at all. I'm just not feeling it. Ricardo, let me know bench cam is not focused. Thank you, dude. Brandon says, I love those ghost antennas though. They're so good. Yeah, these are the jam. These and the mini Mortal T's. Oh, so good. Rabax says, will the TP3 frame fit 3.5-inch props? I really doubt it. I really, really, really doubt it. I can't imagine Bob would add an entire extra ½ an inch of clearance. Okay. So then this antenna is going to be way too long. It's going to be roughly there. And then I can just like figure out a way to loop it. Maybe I'll like loop it there and then down. And then I'll just throw it on. I guess I'll just throw it on an arm. Yeah. Because I got to get it down as low as possible. All right. Let's just keep putting things together. I will ignore the fact that I'm not in the mood to build, and I will just keep screwing things and soldering things. And I also don't like this size of build, right? Like tiny whoop size, basically. I also don't like that. I'm not a fan. Not a fan at all. Man, I am worried that this DVR board is just kind of sitting up here all willy-nilly like. I am all out of these M2 2mm spacers, though, I believe. So that was one of the reasons that I used these tall rubbers, is because I just want to sort of get this thing going. Yeah, I just have like a couple extras. I can use these plastic nuts, but I don't love them. They do have a tendency to break. But they will hold this thing in place, which is kind of more important. Let me... Yeah, I'm going to take these tall standoffs because this is just... this just ain't going to work. So if I take those off, it's the new rubber is going to be there, and then I can maybe do like a little guy there. And that'll keep everything from moving all around. And it'll also give me even more space on top there. Alright, so the saga continues. This build is going to take forever, for the record, in case anybody's wondering. This is a 16-volt capacitor. Let me throw these, what if I put the battery leads on? That'll make me feel like I accomplished something, right? Yeah. And I should be doing that without this rubber in here. So let's get this out. And how do I usually get these out? Like this, right? Yeah. Yeah, let me Let me... Oh, so after the last stream where I was building this, I took 2 of these motor connectors off and I put them on the other side, which I realized I needed to do. And then I got confused and I thought that I moved to the other side, but I didn't. And what I did is I then took those same ones that I just moved and I put them right back where they were. And then I realized what I'd done, and then I did it all over again. I took all 4 off and I put all 4 onto the other side. So that was incredibly frustrating, and that's a part of why I'm like just super annoyed right now, just in general. Like I think that's a big part of the reason that I'm just not kind of feeling working on this thing right now. But we shall persevere, and it's gonna be fine. It's gonna be okay. I don't know how long I want this lead to be though. Forgot to check that. So if this is on here, this is the battery with the shortest lead. It's gonna basically be sideways. Look at that. This guy's all backed out, being all stupid like. Rob Buxton says, any chance of locking your mic on? The mic going in and out is not great if you're using earbuds. So Rob, what you're hearing is the noise gate. I don't like it either, but all of the popular live streamers have it, and it's apparently what I should also have. So yeah, like I said, I don't love it, but it's the industry standard. So I don't know. I don't know. Ricardo says the new HD0 1-watt VTX seems promising, but I thought it would be cheaper. Wow, it's $100. What the shit? That's a lot of dollars. Okay, so if this is here, put it in there, and then... Wow, okay. I'm sorry, I called it I didn't call it the right thing. It's called a noise gate. I think it's the noise gate. I forget. Remy Tim spent a whole bunch of time with me to get all my audio stuff set up properly, and that's one of the things that he set up for me. So yeah, I think I might leave this long. If it's too long, I can just tuck it into the little. Ooh, you know what I also need to do is put the little rubber band on here. The little rubber band for the battery. And I don't think it really makes rhyme or reason where it go. Wait, no, doesn't it go on the? It goes on the bottom plate. Okay, yeah, we're good. We're good. It goes on the little bottom plate. Okay, we're fine. So yeah, I guess I'm gonna leave it full length. Just get it on there. So that's gonna be up. This is gonna be down. I need these guys to be. So the positive is connected directly to that. Yeah, you know what? No, because that's because of the way that those are kind of hanging out. I can do this last. This is gonna be in the way if I do this now. I'm gonna do that last. Let's get the ghost soldered on here. So it's going to be up there. And then I can put it that way. And then loop them over. Or I can just run them straight down. Well, let's see where it's going to land. My God, this silk screening is small. Ground. What? 4.5 volt. What? What? All right, there's 5 volt. There's video in though. 4.5 volt. What is that about? I don't want that. Maybe this can. What? Is this real life? Well, there's S-Bus. There's TX2 and RX2. What's on the rest of this board? Oh, there is RX1 and TX1. And there's a 5 volt on ground. What is that? Out? What's that mean? This is maddening. Well, if I go up there, I'll have more room for the cables to just kind of loop up. What is with that 4.5 volt that though? What? What? Oh, look at the big brain on Patio Patterson. Is USP power. I'll be damned. What's up, Michael Blade? Brandon's Baked Bean says background music would be nice. That I can do. That I can definitely do. But I mean, that kind of defeats the point of it. But I mean, if it's what you guys want, it's what I'll do. Where is iTunes? There it is. Oh my god, come on now. Oh, come on. With the fucking sign into the iTunes store bullshit. Oh, well, this ain't gonna work. Because iTunes is playing into yeah, this ain't gonna work. Well, no, actually, yeah, it is. Yeah, it is. Yeah, it is. Yeah, it is. I just have to turn on desktop audio. Oh no, it's not working. What? Why is nothing working? Wow. Well, shit. Well, that's weird. What the hell? I don't know. I'm not gonna sit here and fuck with the stream the whole time though. Here, I'll just turn all the audio filters off. I don't even care. Properties, cancel, zoom mic loud, filters, off. There you guys go. All right. No more audio filters. All right. So, I guess I am gonna hook this up onto the front there, up in the front corner here. So let's get the soldering iron turned on, and we will start tinning pads, and away we will go. So up top we've got ground, then 4.5 volt. I'm gonna skip that 3.3 volt. I am gonna jump in on that S-Bus pad though, I think. Wait a second, what? Yeah. And then, so S-Bus pad is basically the RX, and then I'm going to skip, and I'm going to go to the TX. And there's another ground on the bottom there. I'm not going to use that ground on the bottom. Man, these pads are small. I did not notice how little these pads are. Let's get some flux going. And we'll get some solder fumes in the air. Rob Oxison says thank you. Sorry, Remy Tim. The people have spoken. I know you. I super appreciate you helping me out with the audio stuff to get me to what the industry wants. But if that's not what the people watching want, then I guess it doesn't matter. So we're going 1, 2, skip. Oh, where'd the flux go? There we go. That's better. 1, 2, skip, and then 3, skip, and then the bottom. Let's get these tinned. Where the hell? There it is. Okay. We at temperature? Yeah, we are. All right, cool. So we got our ground pad first. Jesus, come on. Wow, these pads are real small. God. Then we've got 4.5 volts we're going to skip, and then we've got an S-bus pad here. Technically, I don't really need to use this S-bus pad, but if at some point I decide to move this over to an RXSR, I will want to be using that pad. So we will just use it from the get-go. Okay. So this guy is going to basically be sitting up like that, and then these wires need to come down here like this, and I'm actually going to untwist them or whatever. Rabaxison says, I challenge you to go back and listen to this stream wearing earbuds. I promise you, you will totally understand. I mean, I already know. I don't like the way that they sound. Yeah, I don't know. I also don't work in audio, so sometimes when people that do work in audio give me advice, I take that advice. Right, so you're gonna be there. I need roughly this much. And then I'll give myself a little bit extra. Like that. I think that's probably about right. Unless for some reason I end up rotating this thing. Bind button is going to be in. I mean, that's whatever. No. This is fine. This is fine. We can cut these guys a little short. I'm always hesitant about cutting stuff this short because it pretty much guarantees that, like, if I need to move it to another rig, that I'm going to have to desolder directly from the board here, which is just a waste of time. But I also like a clean build, so yeah. Alright, so I'm going to only strip off like the tiniest little bit from these because these pads are so small, and also because these pads have MOSFETs right on top of them. These wires are going to be kind of like going down at a 45-degree angle. It's going to be sort of a mess. I don't want to have a bunch of extra stripped wire hanging out, so I'm going to really just take the smallest little bit of silicone off of each one of these because I want the wire to be insulated where it crosses the where it comes up on top of the MOSFET. I think they're MOSFETs. There's 3 of them in a row. I know a lot of times they do that, so I'm making an assumption. There we go. Been forgetting to make the fingernail stripping noise lately. Maybe that's why I've been having bad luck with builds. There we go. I took a little too much off of that one. I'll live though. I can pull the silicone out like this, and it'll usually stretch a little bit. Or I could technically just cut a little bit of the wire off, but I think we'll be okay here. So on this guy, I think I made... Okay, telemetry is blue. All right, blue is telemetry. Brains Baked Bean says, "Isn't that Addo beautiful?" Yeah, it is. The white PCBs are just gorgeous. Let's get these tinned up. Telemetry signal. Five volt. What the fuck? Ground. What? Why? There we go. Okay, so I'm just gonna zap these on here. Sorry about that, fellas. I was working sort of off the screen a little bit there. All right, let's do ground. So we're gonna go top to bottom so that we're not having to cross the soldering iron over another pad. Wow, this is tight, man. JHEMCU is not doing me any favors here with this pad placement. You get out of here. But we are gonna make it work. It's gonna be fine. Hey, I've been watching, I finally broke down and put Squid Game on. I've been watching Squid Game. It's alright. It's good. I love the story behind the filmmaker or the scriptwriter or whoever the hell it was. Where, like, he just tried and tried and tried and tried and tried to get it made. And then eventually it did after, like, 5 years or something crazy. I love that. It's dubbed, which is sometimes a little bit rough. They did a good job with the dubbing. I don't know. I mean, it's good. Don't get me wrong, but it's just I don't know. I'm not. I don't know. It's good. It's not the best thing. I mean, it's not Ozark. It's not like. I think there's a lot of other really good stuff on Netflix, like really, really, really good. So I don't know. I'm just my mind is not blown yet. I think I'm more than halfway through, so I don't know. Maybe I'm missing something, but it's good. It's definitely good. Worth watching if you're looking for something to watch. All right, that looks good. What did I say? Blue is telemetry. Oh man, this is lining up top to bottom. I don't have to cross any wires. Oh, is that satisfying? That almost never happens. Ooh, yeah. My man. I don't know. I'm sure a bunch of you guys have seen it. What was like? What was? Why is it so? Everybody's talking about it. Is it just because it's good? It's winning a lot of awards and shit. Oh, it's cool looking. Sets are amazing. Maybe I'm just not in the mood or something, I guess. could get that one a little bit better. Just want to get the wire to sit just a tiny bit more flat on there. There we go, that's better. And telemetry. Well, this is exciting. We're going to get to try Ghost out. And then I'm going to be like, oh, it's a transmitter link. Great. I should have put Crossfire on it. Now, this is actually a good candidate for Ghost. It's a small rig. It's not going to... Or a good candidate for 2.4. It's a small rig. I'm not going to fly it really far. There's really no reason to have Crossfire on something like this. It's not fast enough to cover enough ground to take advantage of the extra range that 900 will give you. And in theory, 2.4 won't get knocked out of the sky. Alright, that's good enough. It's not perfect, but it's good enough. So, receiver is good to go, and I think I am going to throw a little twist in it. Just one twist, I think. And then that can hang out up there like that on top of the DVR. Cool. Forcing myself to use Ghost. I love it. Next up, let's get the video all figured out. The motors are basically already wired up. It looks like nothing is done, but the motors are basically already wired up. Now the receiver is. So really all all I need to do is this plug header, wild and woolly plug header from the from this crazy DVR VTX board. And then this will be pretty much done. Battery wires last. Plug the motors in, screw some stuff down, and we've got a TP3. June Logo says, don't get the V1 or V2 Nebula cams, they suck donkey dick. Xenakis is in the house. What's up, FPV Exchange? He says, hey, CiottiFPV in the collective. Abraham says, do what you think is right for the channel, but for what it's worth, at least with the current mic, gate settings, and environment, I think it sounds better without the noise gate. YouTube poll. For some reason, I can't do YouTube polls. I think you have to be like a successful channel to be able to do it. But yeah, right now everything is turned off. Like the audio is now as the same as when the stream first started. Kevin Smith says Ozark Season 4 starts on 1/21. No shit. I did not know that. Abraham says, you've watched Succession though, right? Nope, I have not heard of Succession. Okay. So I had this plugged in because it's labeled on the bottom. So let me get it re-plugged in here. Okay. So this is the VTX wire. I think that needs to hook up to the video out. I think that's how they are labeling this. So I need to find video out on this AIO. RX1, TX1, that says out, so I'm assuming that's it. And there's a 5 volt and a ground back there, which I'll probably use. What do we got up front here, though? We got ground, 5 volt, video in, cool, LED, buzzer minus, 5 volt ground. Alright, so yeah, it's got to be in the back here. So I'm going to go to the back with it. And it's going to be sitting in the back. So I'll probably send this... Oh no, it's going to be like that. So I'll probably send this guy under. Like that. So let's just move this receiver out of the way. So this little fella is going to be hanging out up here. Like that. And then here's the video out wire. I'm going to leave it full length. So video out's going to go there, and then we've got 5 volt and ground. I'll use those as well. And then there's probably a smart audio. I'm assuming that's going to be this white cable. Data, yep. So the white cable for data, I'm going to send that down as well. Leave that full length. And then we're going to have a 5 volt and ground. Zap them on there, we'll be good to go. Holy Testicle Tuesday! This build is almost done. There's data. We got ground and 5 volt right next to them. Come on. Come on. Is that the one? That's the one. Alright, cool. So that's going to hang out there. Alright. That guy goes down like that. And then this is our 5 volts. Okay. Alright, perfect. So I'm going to send all 4 of these guys under this. And then I could just raise it up, plug it in. And then this is going to go to the camera. And then this is going to go to the video in. So yeah, I can just zap all 4 of these guys on there. And I'll be all set to go. Should have plenty of space in between the AIO and the DVR for them to hit these pads. So I got 5 pads. One of them I'm not using. Which one's that? What's where does the smart audio wire go on? TX or RX? TX, right? Because I need to transmit from the AIO to, yeah. So I'm going to just use the bottom 4 pads. Well, that's nice and simple. Abraham says HBO. If you haven't watched Succession, there's nothing on any of the streaming services that you should watch before that. What's the deal with Succession? What's it about? Because a lot of, if it's like horror, I'm not going to watch it because I have issues with nightmares. Night terrors. Robertson says, is that a Diamond VTX DVR? Yep. That's what I didn't have in the, that's why I got rid of the old Toothpick, because it didn't have a DVR on board. And the, my God, JHEMCU with the fucking pad size, really? Yeah, at the time I didn't have the power play, maybe? I don't know. I don't know why I got rid of it. But I did. And now I'm building another one like an idiot. But that's okay. That's okay. 2022 Toothpick build. What's wrong with that? It's fine. Man, I forget which pad is which. RX1. Wait, no. TX1 and then video. Hey, chat, do me a favor. Somebody type this in. RX1, video, 5 volt ground. That's what these guys are, top to bottom. I won't need it, but because I'm going to do it right now, but hey. If I see something shiny and get distracted, maybe I'll forget where the pads are. Here we go. The world's smallest solder pads. Good God. My, oh my. Okay. Top one. Not enough solder on there. Not quite. Jesus. Why am I having such a hard time with this? Get some more flux in there. Just rework that one a tiny little bit. And then I'll be happy. This is actually the build that I could completely half-ass all of this because it couldn't hurt a fly. But I still don't want to lose it, so I'll take my time and do it right the first time. We got video. Okay. And then 5 volt. Yeah, down there. There we go. Okay. 5 volt. At least the pads are tiny, but the gap between, there's a good gap between the pads. So it's not actually that bad, but man, the pads are really small. Last but not least, ground. Let me get some fresh solder on here real quick. Alright, that should be totally fine. Abraham says, it's like the story of Fox and Robert Iles, but fictionalized and dramatized the life in the dysfunctional family in a media empire. Just trust me. What's it called again? Sexy Pants? Grizz likes The Magicians on Netflix. Brandon McBean says, you know what? Glad you're going to be doing both DJI HD0 because it's going to be cool to see what you prefer for what and why. Yeah, that's my thoughts exactly. I mean, if DJI doesn't get their head out of their ass and design a monitor setup, I'm not, like, it ain't gonna be DJI. Dragging around an entire second set of goggles is absolutely, like, that's the stupidest thing ever. I gotta redo this 5 volt pad. That's absolutely ridiculous. Especially with how fucking big they are. So yeah. It's real. I really don't understand. I just don't get it why they're not getting on that. I'm sure there's a reason. What actually surprises me the most is how many of these pro pilots are willing to drag around a second set of those fucking goggles. Like, that's insane. But I have a feeling that they're basically in a situation where, like, they kind of can't go back to analog. Or at least they're not willing to. You know what I mean? Alright, it's not great, but it's a toothpick. The joints are ugly but strong. And I might not be able to get them that much cleaner because of how small the pads are. The pad size is just killing me. Yeah, these are plenty strong. I'm gonna give them the tug test. which I haven't done in a while, but whenever a pad is not pretty, I always do this little test. Alright, yeah, we're fine. It's totally fine. Okay, so this little guy is going to sit like this, and then it's going to plug in there, and I might even be able to get a little turn in it. So just kind of bundle some of these wires together. Okay, cool. And so that'll plug in there. You know, I do need to eat up some more of this cable length, so let's go for a second little spin here. Okay. So that should be good. I can probably just put those wires out like that, plug in there, and then this is going to go to the camera. What's annoying is that this camera has the same connector as this. So what do I do? What do I do? 661 FPV says it's called the DJI Smart Controller. It's not, because that still has to be plugged into goggles. It's absolutely asinine. Robox System says HD0 isn't a locked system. Yeah, it's one of the things I really like about it. June Logo says, I wonder how it's like when both systems are running next to each other, which one will get blasted. Oh yeah, that is kind of interesting. Robox System says, easier / cheaper to have an extra VTX / monitor for SharkBite to him to erector for him to follow you compared to DJI. Exactly, Rob. I can just VHB, just get a second SharkBite receiver and just VHB it to a monitor and just run the HDMI right into the monitor. I mean, hell, I could even run it into Video Village, which would be really nice. Velcro. So what I would do is Velcro a SharkBite receiver to a monitor, and then if they have Video Village, which has already happened to me a couple of times, they've already asked me if I can run, and the current monitor that I have won't do it. But yeah, that would be really nice. The gig that I did with, I forget his name, Yeezy or Jeezy, and some other people whose names are eluding me at the moment. Yeah, they wanted to hook me up to Video Village, but I couldn't. I didn't have a HDMI out, which was fine. But yeah, SharkBite would make it very, very handy and very, very easy to do that. And that's a big deal. You know, that's like, that's a moment where you look really professional. And for all of the people on set to be able to, that are already in Video Village, to be able to watch you fly, that's pretty rad. That's the kind of thing that gets you booked for more gigs. The more people that can watch you fly live, yeah, that's a big deal. That'll get you some action. And not the kind of action that you get in the park. I wonder if I can stretch this little piece of shrimp wrap big enough. Let's see. Oh, this is really thin. This is going to rip, I'll bet. Oh, maybe not. Let's see if that's big enough. Nope! Not big enough. Jeez, it's not even close. Well, let's see. Man, shrimp wrap is really impressive stuff. It really... Look at that. Jesus. Okay. I'm impressed. I am impressed. I'll be even more impressed if it doesn't fail as soon as I hit it with heat and rip. What do you mean park, Demenis? What's park mean? All right. Antenna's got a little bit of protection. So I'm going to put a gloop of Welder on this UFL here because I am just going to like jankily jank this thing right out the butt. But before I do that, I'm going to insulate the as much of the little jib-jab as I can here. Did you get all that? Let's see if I can use this tiny little piece of bit of shrimp wrap here. The reason I'm going to do this is because I'm going to rotate this little UFL so that it sits against this little rear post. You know what? I might actually be better off insulating the post rather than the UFL. Or actually, I'll do them both. Alright, so I'm just going to see if I can slide this over the UFL. Yeah, there we go. There we go. Okay, I'm just going to hold that. A little bit of black shrimp wrap right up against the UFL, and we're just going to hit it with the lighter again. Oh, Action Park, right. All right, cool. Good to go. That is going to hang out there. Yeah. Beautiful. I love it. That's going to sit on... Oh, man, this is going to be clean, people. You haven't seen anything this clean before. This is going to be the cleanest thing you've ever seen. Maybe so clean that I keep it this time. Yeah, so I am gonna also drop a little tiny bit of nah, you know what? I'm not. I'm just gonna run it right there. So that's, I want it to sit exactly like that, so it just kind of hangs out the back. Yeah, that'll be fine. So I am gonna gloop some gloop on there. You know what I mean? Gloop. Where'd the gloop go? Here's the gloop. Got the gloop. I have made quite the mess over here. All right, let's get some Welder on here. Think of Welder as hot glue, but much more temperature resistant. So whenever I would normally want to use hot glue on a VTX, I always use Welder. Because when the VTX gets hot, the Welder won't soften up in the same way that hot glue will. A little top tip for you there. I don't want to get too much on here. Come on. There it is. I don't want quite that much on there, but I can probably take some off. Let me go get a toothpick. Hold on. A toothpick for the toothpick. Ah! Farts. Hold on, please. I'm coming back. I'm coming. Here I come. Getting some toothpicks. Okay. Can you guys hear me when I'm screaming in the kitchen like that? I assume that you can, because I'm a very loud person. Okay. So let's just push some of this welder down to make sure it really gets in there. I just want it like in the back corner here. I want to make sure it really gets up in there. And then on the top here, I'm actually going to scrape some of this off. There we go. All right, that looks good. Okay. Let me take a quick look to make sure there's good coverage, because I'm going to be relying on this welder to keep this UFO on. So I really want to make sure that it's stuck down. There's going to be no retention on this UFL other than what you see here. Yeah, that's looking good. That should be totally fine. I am going to push this. The other cool thing about Welder is when you peel it peels off nice and clean. So yeah, if I need to get this UFL off at some point, it won't be a problem. Comes off nice and clean. It's not unlike liquid electric tape. Liquid electric tape in this situation would like be a total pain in the ass because it would get all, it like tears. Welder comes off in one big chunk, whereas liquid electric tape does that tearing bullshit, which just sucks. Arrgh. Get off of there, Welder. Get down in there, yeah. Actually gonna add... No, I'm not, it's fine. There's plenty. It's fine. This is gonna look cool with this little tiny antenna hanging out the back. Alright, let's get this off. Okay. So... I think... most of the soldering is done. What am I going to do about this, though? This is frustrating. So there's a little plug header up there. I guess I'm just going to have to direct solder it. Get this out of the way. I do need to hook this guy up to the video in. But I'm getting really hungry, and it is now beyond 11 o'clock. So we're past 2 hours. So I think I'm going to bail, finish this up tomorrow night. And yeah, we'll be good to go. Everybody bitches and moans that I stream for too long, so once we hit 2 hours, I really try to bail. Sometimes I'm too into it. Robux says, keep us posted on your experience with power output out of VTX. Maybe I just had a bad one. I hope you had a bad one, because it's got the DVR built in, which I really like. Love you guys. Wait, hold on. Hold on, please. Cool. We're good to go. Thanks for hanging out, friends. I will see you guys tomorrow night for our regularly scheduled live stream at 8 o'clock Eastern. What can I play for you, beautiful people? Oh, I'll play the second battery. You guys saw the first battery at the beginning of the stream at that crazy spot. I'll play the second one. Veritas Weasel says, is this a good drone for someone's first drone? Probably not. What's the price? Does it work with FreeSky? Does not work with FreeSky. I'm building this with Ghost. Price, I don't know. What's a toothpick cost to build, guys? 200 bucks? I would not recommend a toothpick for your first drone, though. It's too fragile. I would recommend like one of my Ripsqueak builds, basically. But instead of a RunCam hybrid, just put a regular camera in there. So yeah, yeah. Go to my channel here. Go to videos and you have a little search bar. Search for Ripsqueak, and I think that's the best beginner build. All right, friends. Love you. See you tomorrow night. Be good. I'm gonna get some food. I'm starving. Here's some flying with epidemic sounds in the background. Maybe not. The computer's being a little weird. Let's see if this works. Hold on. I don't want to leave you guys with no audio. Why is that? What? Hold on. Yeah, the desktop audio is broken. What, why? Why do things just stop working? Audio captures dim. What? Why? Why is this? Why are you like this? Hold on, let me turn it off and on. Line out. I show you. Let's see if that worked. Nope, it's broken. Great. I'm just gonna turn on the end screen. No flying, because it'll be silly for it to be completely silent. Love you guys. Be good. See you tomorrow night. Hopefully the problem will be fixed when I... Well, let's try this. Hold on. I'll quit out and relaunch OBS. Let's see here. Yep, that fixed it. Alright, guys. Love ya. Here you go. See you tomorrow night.